So I am old enough to remember the time when Boogie2988 first appeared on YouTube. And a lot of people don't know this, but in the very beginning, for a short period of time, he didn't even come out as Boogie2988, as the person that we all know nowadays. In the beginning, he was just this character called Francis. And I remember that was really what got him viral, right? Like clips like this one, for example. This
Francis?
is from his channel.
Calm down. Calm down.
No!
Okay, so he portrayed this angry, overweight, intellectually challenged, Mountain Dew drinking American idiot, right? And he created this character that was sitting in his room talking for long periods of time about really nerdy topics and stuff with this really annoying type of voice. So I thought for the longest time, that's just the guy. And I think a lot of people did at the time as well. They thought, yeah, that's just the guy who is, because, you know, certainly people like that do exist around the world and in the United States. But then after that, he came out and he did like Reddit AMAs like this one, for example, saying, hello, I'm YouTuber Boogie2988, aka Francis. Please ask me stuff about stuff, giving the proof and answering questions. And it was like literally a process of him coming out as a real person saying, Francis is not real. This is just me portraying this character called Francis. Now at that time, views on his channel were high, he was raking in loads of views, and to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, at that time he was somewhat likable. He was a likable guy, he seemed eye level, you know, approachable, the stuff he talked about and the way he spoke about it made sense, and it was kind of level-headed with a lot of people, so people liked him. But since then, so much stuff went down. Okay, I mean, this video we just looked at, that was uploaded to his channel like, what, 12 years ago. So we've seen a lot about this guy, Boogie2988. A lot has happened since then. And it really has been a journey to the point where we are today. And I'm going to be honest with you, just yesterday, it's reached a new low. Okay, it's really, really reached a new low. And this is kind of why I'm doing this video, because I feel like at this point, it's almost like the conclusion and culmination of this whole journey of this character called Boogie2988. And I felt like I wanted to reflect on it and just put it all kind of in a compelling video. It's not a real complete timeline of everything that happened, but it's going to touch on all the key points that turned Boogie into what he is today. And while I do want to put together a fairly compelling timeline of some of the events that happened in Boogie's career, I don't want to bore you with every single milestone. Like, you know, when he got his new teeth, that was a weird moment at that time. When he got his bypass surgery, these are big milestones that I will assume that you guys are familiar with, but I want to focus a little bit more on the stuff that happened in the recent past. And it all started with his views declining, his revenue declining, and he got less and less relevant. And as it is with people like that, I mean, you know, I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of YouTubers have narcissistic personalities and they really crave that attention. And if that attention goes away and suddenly they're not relevant anymore, it's not just the revenue that's not there anymore that makes them come up with new ways to become relevant, but it's also the lack of the attention they get. So that's exactly what it feels like that happened to Boogie. At some point, he did everything trying to stay relevant to an extent, in some cases in an involuntary way. I mean, some of these incidences were not exactly his doing, like for example the Frank Hassel incident, which happened in 2020, where first, I think in a podcast, don't nail me down on this, but I think Boogie threatened to take his life, and then Frank Hassel, who is another YouTuber, found his house, and then Boogie came out and pointed a gun at him. It's the very famous incident. You can Google it and check it out yourself. And then Boogie even fired a warning shot into the air in a residential area. And to me, honestly, I mean, there were moments before that in the Boogie's career where I was like, all right, this dude is slightly off the rails. But him shooting a live warning shot into the air in a residential area, I was like, okay, bro, he's kind of already lost it. And that also then went to court. You know, I don't know the exact outcome of it, but he had some consequences for these actions. And it really seemed like a pivotal moment in his downfall. But again, I don't think that was him planning to do this, right? It just kind of evolved. Like, that's what Frank Hassel does, right? He hassles people and tries to push them over the edge, and that worked very well with Boogie. After that, total desperation really hit, because even this incident, I mean, it gave him a little bit more relevance for a short amount of time, but his relevance and views just kept going down and he couldn't come back. And I remember him starting to implement more shock value. Like, regularly he would just be nude on stream, or at least topless, right? Which obviously is a sight to behold for this man. I don't know how heavy he is, but like, you know, it's, if you see a stream with someone of that size sitting there topless, it gives you a certain shock for a moment. And then later he even went nude. I think, on a stream on Twitch, like completely stripped nude. And he was banned from Twitch for that. Then a few months ago, he suddenly started to peddle these right-wing dog whistles, sending tweets like this one, because he was never really political. I don't know what his political orientation is, which side he's swinging for, but it just felt really unusual. And I saw this on Twitter as well, and I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, it really felt like he's clearly just trying to activate a right-leaning audience in order to get relevant again, right? Like, oh, loads of right-wing people out there. You say, oh, white man, underprivileged, loads of people jump on your channel. And that does work for a lot of people. It didn't really work for him, I would argue. I mean, and in this process that I'm describing right now, he more and more became like this lolcow, right? Like, people were just ridiculing him. The audience that was liking him and taking him serious was removing themselves from his channel. And the people who just wanted to see him suffer joined his channel and only stayed around to hassle and bully him. Now, earlier this year also, he promoted and launched this cryptocurrency called Fatty Coin on Twitter, okay, which is like... I mean, I thought we were over this, right? People and YouTubers launching crypto coins. I thought it was like 3 years ago. But anyway, it was then investigated by coffeezilla. And he pointed out that the coin that he launched kind of lost 90% of its value one day after its launch. So it was clearly like some kind of scam or rug pull thing that he pulled there. Meanwhile, Boogie claimed that none of his fans would buy the cryptocurrency, right? Yes, I promoted it, but nobody would buy that. Instead, he said that it was only be bought by millionaires who want to speculate on assets and maybe waste 0.01 of their wealth on this meme coin, right? And it's like, you promoted it on your channel. The people who buy this are your followers, I guess. Then later he apologized, and this is a pattern that happens over and over with Boogie again, right? He's like, he does a thing that's freaking insane, then he apologizes for it, then he does a thing that's freaking insane, and he apologizes for it. So he apologized for this specific crypto scam on his Twitter, July 2nd, 2024. And in the apology, he stated that he deleted every fatty coin that he owns. And then he wrote that, and this is a quote, "If any fan comes forward and can show me they lost money on that coin, I will gladly apologize to them." And it's like, bro, you had me in the first half, right? I thought you're going to say anyone who lost money on this coin and writes to me and can prove they lost money, I will reimburse them, but that's not where this went. Like, you get an apology from Boogie, but that's all you get. You're never going to get a single cent out of that guy. And then he continued in that quote saying, "I will try to do more than just apologize and see what else I can do to make you whole." Now, look, I don't know if maybe some people got some money back from Boogie that they lost on this mysterious crypto coin. If that's the case and you are one of them, then please leave that down in the comments. Okay, I'm happy to stand corrected there. But my suspicion is that probably no money went from Boogie to anyone who lost money on his crypto scam. And again, this asking fans for money is like a red thread that goes through his whole career. He always asks his fans, to fund his new Tesla. "Oh, I got a new Tesla. I need to pay my bills for my car. Can you please give me money?" "Oh, I need the bypass surgery," right? Like the famous bypass surgery he had. "I need money to fund that." Or most recently, this is kind of where we come into the contemporary, what's currently going on. He asked for money for his cancer treatment because he claimed he had like this rare form of cancer and he's basically dying and it's bad and he can't even afford treatment. And he was pushing those buttons online in order to get people to donate money to him. Then Destiny, and I'm sure you're familiar with Destiny, exposed him live on the lolcow live podcast with other people there in the room as well, and just debunked him and just really explained that the way he describes his cancer and this form of cancer that he has is not linked to the actual form of cancer and does not match the symptoms that you may have when you have this form of illness. So he was exposed, and in the beginning he denied it. He's like, "No, that's not true. I do have the cancer and this is all lies, blah, blah, blah." But ultimately he bowed under the pressure and admitted that he lied about the details of his condition. Now keep in mind, again, he asked his fans, his supporters, the few people who are still left, watch his videos and support him, to give him money under those false pretenses in order to get treatment for his cancer that doesn't exist, okay? And that was not long ago, right? Like, when did this happen? 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. This is very, very recent. And at that time already, I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Begging your fans to pay for your Tesla, okay, it's not a great thing to be proud of, but I guess if fans pay for it, it's fine. You know, I'm also asking for donations in my live streams or whatnot. But to lie about having cancer and then ask your fans to pay for the treatment, and the whole thing is a lie, it's just made up, that's a new low, dude. Okay, so I thought, okay, we can't go any lower than that. Well, I was wrong. Because since then, in all the online appearances that he has and where he talks to Keemstar and on the lolcow podcast and wherever he appears online, it just gets more and more off the rails. And it's really reached a point where it's just sad, dude. You know, we're getting these regular freakouts, and I'm just going to give you guys like a rough idea. It looks a bit like that.
I will divulge no more medical information to any of you motherfuckers.
This is, you don't even got to tell me what it is. Like, there's a bevy of medicine.
Yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Situation.
God, I'm so happy. I hate this. I hate it. I hate this show. I hate fucking breathing air. I hate being alive. I'm in so much fucking pain. I can't fucking stand it anymore. I can't fucking stand this. I can't fucking stand this. I've ruined my fucking life. I just want to be over.
Situation.
I want to die. That's what I say over and over and over again. I hate being alive. I hate being alive. I hate breathing. I hate being alive. I'm in tremendous pain. I'm in tremendous pain. Help me. Help me. Help me. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain.
Let him know. Go off, Queen. Go off,
Oh,
Queen.
I'm not interested. Just let me get through it, Dan.
You got this.
Matt, stop the fuck out. Let me get through it, mother.
Okay. I look, there's more of it. I'll link it in the description. I don't think we need to watch the whole thing. He's completely unhinged, okay? Boogie is gone. Boogie is screaming at everyone who's with him. And again, I don't know if this is literally because he's kind of, it appears like he's losing his mind, you know, while the internet is watching him, or whether this stuff happens, again, just out of his desperate crave to get attention, to be relevant again. So you know, he knows screaming into a microphone like that, completely becoming unhinged in front of a camera, gives you your 2 minutes of fame on Twitter, right? Like, it gets you 1,000 likes and it gets a bunch of clicks on your video. Probably his subscribers go up ever so slightly because people are kind of pity watching him. So I don't know if he's doing this intentionally, but to me, it very much feels like he's just lost the plot. Okay, he's just that's it. He's reached rock bottom. I don't know where we can go from here. Well, and this is kind of taking us to what happened today. I believe a fan or someone in chat suggested that because he lied about his illness and he should pay the price for that, he should get the word liar tattooed on his face, okay? And again, I don't know exactly how it got to that, whether that was then amplified by Keemstar or the others of the lolcow Live podcast. I don't know how it exactly got to this point. I just read on Twitter that like a fan suggested it. And I mean, again, I would have thought like, okay, we're just moving past it. He will not get his face tattooed with the word liar. Well, guess what?
Boogie, for your final step, you need to take the L.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude. Keemstar's such a freaking slime ball, dude. I hate that guy so much. You can say about Boogie what you want. Look, he's not a likable character. He messed up so many times. He lied. Like, we just talked about it all, okay? But Keemstar, dude, is on a whole different level of sadness and perversion in this whole thing. But this is not about Keemstar. So ultimately, Boogie did get exactly that. Boogie got the word liar tattooed on his face, on his cheek. That's how it looks. And again, it's kind of weird, right? Because he lied so many times. And yes, we just saw a video where literally a tattoo artist is tattooing it on his face. But is it real? Is it really real? I mean, he's lied so much that I could totally imagine this not being real as well. You know what I mean? At this point, dude, everything around this guy is so broken. But I mean, at least his SoundCloud rapper era has finally begun, right? Like, what else? Are we getting little tears? And is he gonna look like Post Malone in a month from now? Look, I shouldn't joke about this because ultimately it's a freaking sad story. It's a story of a lolcow, of a guy who is so desperate to stay relevant on the internet and who is really willing to do anything to break himself down into little bits and pieces publicly in order to somehow gain a few more clicks and love and attention. It is super late stage lolcow behavior. That's what it is. And again, I think he's so sickly desperate for attention to keep his 5 minutes of fame because he's such a narcissist. This is just my reading in the situation. Okay, I'm not diagnosing him here for what he is, but that's how it seems to me. And to be honest, it's just sad. Now, if you want to dive deeper into this whole lolcow thing, less specific on Boogie, I did a video about this a while back. I'll link it down in the description. You can check it out. It's just a breakdown of the whole psychology behind the lolcow phenomenon. I'm talking about a few other examples beyond Boogie. It's interesting. I'm fascinated by it, but honestly, just as a kind of a final word and conclusion, despite everything what Boogie did, I wish him all the best, okay? I wish that he can somehow pull himself out of this online hell that he's in, that he can somehow find a life again that is disconnected from these levels of attention and desperation that he's currently experiencing. And I mean, ultimately, that somehow he can just find happiness again, okay? Because I like no human being, no matter what they did, I like no human being that is like this and that is in a stage of self-destruction and self-pity and sadness as this guy is. So I hope he can somehow turn this around for him. I wish him all the best. But I mean, let me know down in the comments what you guys feel about this situation. Share your thoughts. I would appreciate that. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button. I would appreciate that as well. Subscribe to the channel for more. I don't think I'll do many more Boogie videos, but again, if you enjoyed it, smash the like button, subscribe. You can also join our Discord. Okay, the link to that is in the description as well. I'd love to meet you over there. You can tell me personally what you think about my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. I'm out. Bye.